Welcome to another post-game edition from Knicks Nation. I'm Anthony. I'm joined by Chris. Chris is back. Chris is feeling better. It's good to have him back on the stream.
I'm
Chris, what's
back.
up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, the bugs going around,
Yeah,
but I'm
everyone's
happy to
sick.
be back.
Yeah, everyone seems to be sick. But yeah, man, much needed victory out in Detroit after a few bad games at home. The Knicks go into Detroit and drop a 140 spot, and they win 140 to 110. Great game all around, and we needed a blow up game like this from everybody, up and down the starters. Everybody played well. The bench unit played well. No complaints. Look, the Knicks are now 3-0 against the Detroit Pistons. Uh, Detroit stinks. So, but much needed victory, Chris.
Yep, you like to see it, even though it is Detroit. We're 3-0 against them, but these are the teams that you gotta take care of. Because imagine if we're coming on here and Detroit won 140 to 110 instead of the Knicks.
Oh my God. Could you? Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Good thing that
I
didn't
don't.
happen though.
Yeah,
Good thing that didn't happen. Yeah, it really started with his name is Julius Randle. Julius Randle tonight played 31 minutes. Birthday boy, Julius Randle. Today's actually his birthday. Julius Randle had a total of 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he had 17 points in the first quarter. And he dropped 5 of 8 from 3 in that first quarter. All around great game out of Julius Randle. Efficient. Detroit had no answer for him. He was pretty much unstoppable all game. And he pretty much willed the Knicks to a victory tonight. And it's good to see this version of Julius Randle, Chris.
yeah, we got All Star Julius. At least offensively. He
Yeah.
he was on fire. They just had no answer for him.
Nope. They had no answer for him tonight. And pretty when he had that dunk there, I believe in the third quarter, he dunked it over Isaiah Stewart. Was it in the third or the? Yeah, he dunked it over Stewart. Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's not a guy you want to mess with though. But he got the dunk over Stewart. Isaiah Stewart pushed him, got a technical for it. And look, Julius was unstoppable. No complaints out of Julius tonight. Um, All Star Julius, like you said. All Star Julius Randle showed up for the Knicks tonight. The Knicks are in a first game of a back to back. They have a back to back tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks, I believe, back at home. So we needed a game like this. We needed a victory like this. The Knicks are now 10-11 on this young season. It's quickly not becoming young though, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of zooming by a bit.
Yeah, yeah, it is kind of zooming by a bit, but let me just tweet that we're live. Yeah, Julius Randle with a great game, but somebody I wanted to give an honorable mention to was Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes finally with a blowout breakout game in the offensive end. He's been struggling a bit on the offensive side of the ball, but his playmaking ability has been really clutch for the Knicks, and his playmaking has been amazing alongside of his defense. So Quentin Grimes tonight finally had a shot going. First quarter, he was 2 of 2 from 3. Finished the game with 16 points. Only missed a shot, 6 of 7, 3 of 4 from 3. Mr. Untouchable Quentin Grimes is this is who we want to see, and this is the upside from Q Dot.
Yeah, Grimes, we've been saying it. He's an important part of this team, and we weren't worried about his shot. We knew that was gonna fall, and here you have it. A game where his shot is falling. He's all over the place defensively, and he's showing you those playmaking skills that he gave us flashes of on summer league. So one thing
Yep,
that stood out for me is he's pretty quick. I don't know if he got
he
faster
is
or if I just
quick.
haven't seen him play in some time, but man, he was moving out there.
He's quick, man. Like he's swift. He's quick. His first step is like a jolt of
Yeah.
energy, and yeah, man, that's one thing that stands out to me about Grimes too. He's quick, plays defense. I do believe he's instilled himself as a starting shooting guard of the New York Knicks. You,
Yeah.
you got Cam Reddish now coming off the bench after becoming healthy, so I do think Quentin Grimes has a starting job. That's his job to lose, man. We were debating about whether it'll be Grimes or Reddish. Reddish came in tonight and did his thing as well. And 6 points. Didn't really score much, but he could have had a few more opportunities. There was fewer more opportunities where the New York Knicks missed him down below. But yeah, man, Quentin Grimes has really impressed me. He's impressing Knicks fans, and we just want him to stay healthy. This is the upside we've been seeing out of him, and Summer League Grimes is coming alive here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this was the one of the reasons why you could say we don't have a Donovan Mitchell right now. It's because they wouldn't include a Grimes in that trade, and finally he's healthy, he's on the court, and he's showing us exactly why. And I think it's a good problem to have. You have Reddish, you have Grimes, and what I like about Reddish right now is that even though he's not scoring
Yeah.
too much, that defense, he's still not letting up on the defensive end, and that's what you love to see. They're still putting that effort out there, and I like that problem. That's a good problem for us to have.
Somebody just tweeted 30% of the Knicks wins have come against Detroit. The Knicks are now 3-0 against the Detroit Pistons. If only we could play Detroit every single game, Chris. That'll be great if that was the case.
I'll take it.
The,
Give me a full 82 game season of Detroit versus Knicks.
Look, Detroit was dealing with some injuries tonight. Obviously, they had the rookie out, Cade Cunningham out. So it was really tough for them to keep up with the Knicks scoring power. They put up 110 points, but when you have Julius Randle playing at an all-star level like he did tonight, alongside of everyone else contributing, the Knicks had, as a team, 31 assists tonight. They were sharing the rock, really getting everybody involved. And when the Knicks are sharing the rock and when they're contributing as a team on the defensive end and they're playing team defense, they're going to be hard to beat. We haven't seen that this season consistently, and that's the issue.
That's
Defense,
definitely
Chris.
that's
That's the
that's the
issue.
word.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yeah.
We have these games kind of like scattered out throughout the season so far, but when they're sharing the ball, when they're moving, they're cutting, good things happen. Why they don't seem to get that every game, or at least try it every game, is beyond me. But um, you love to see it, and obviously when they do, you get games like this. I won't say blowouts, but definitely positive games where either they're right in it or it is a blowout.
Yeah. They just have to share the rock, play team defense, communicate on the defensive end. And the Knicks came into tonight. I don't know if you know this, Chris, but they're the worst shooting team in the NBA in terms of 3-point shooting percentage.
Yep.
So they don't shoot the ball well. But tonight they shot 45% from three. That's a pretty great step in the right direction, if you ask me. They hit 16 to 35 from beyond the arc. Everybody's shot was falling, especially Julius Randle. Like I said, he attempted 8 3-pointers there in the first quarter. He was pretty much not missing. And you can say he was forcing a bit, but hey, it's his birthday. His shot was on, so I'll give him that. But Julius Randle, he was on tonight. No complaints out of me, out of Julius Randle. And Emmanuel quickly came in this game with a sore right knee, still contributed 22 points. He's been one of the Knicks' most consistent players, IQ, defensively and offensively. 15 points, 4 assists, efficient, 7 to 12. Emmanuel quickly just keeps doing it, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see him out there. I thought, he'd set a couple games, but
Yep.
sure enough, he was out there and continuing to roll like if nothing ever happened. He's a warrior.
He is a warrior. And warrior IQ, man, because I could tell he was limping there, and he was balling. He balled out defensively, shout out to Emmanuel quickly. Keeps doing it night in and night out. And Derrick Rose, 25 minutes. He's only scored 5 points, but he gave the Knicks a little spark off the bench. Jericho Sims. I mean, that's one that really that irks me. Jericho Sims not playing, because Jericho Sims had a stretch there of 4 or 5 games where he was playing extremely well. He was playing way better than Isaiah Hartenstein. And look, I get that you can't play three centers. You can't play Hartenstein, Sims, and Mitchell Robinson. But Tom Thibodeau's always preaching, look, everything is merit-based. Your play determines your playing time. And Jericho Sims didn't get in the game until literally the middle of the fourth quarter. And you had Mitchell Robinson even come back in the game in the fourth quarter, which was kind of stupid. I mean, there's no other word to put it. It was stupid, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm a Sims fan. I just think with the news that came out, that Hartenstein's dealing with, an Achilles issue. It's like, why not give him some rest, let him heal up a bit. Sims is more than capable to fill in. He's shown it, he's proved it.
Yeah.
And hell, I thought we could have used him down the stretch in the Memphis game as well. But I don't know. Tibbs is Tibbs. That's all I can say. I don't know what else Sims has to do to prove that he deserves some more minutes, especially if you have iHeart, who is dealing with a nagging Achilles injury apparently since the start of the season. Why not give him some time off?
Yeah, it seems like the easy thing to do, but like you said, Tibbs is Tibbs. Obi Toppin, he was struggling there in the first half and really got his 3-point shot back, 2 or 3 from 3. Tonight, good game out of Obi Toppin. And look, no complaints out of nobody. RJ, I mean, we could talk about RJ Barrett. Look, I mean, RJ on the offensive end is pretty much a spot-up 3-point shooter, or he's driving to the basket, hoping for a foul for a layup. If you watch the game, RJ Barrett, that's all he's doing. He's only shooting threes, and he's driving, which is okay. I mean, he when he drives, he most of the time gets a foul call, but some of the times he's not efficient enough to. I mean, if he missed, like there was a few that he missed tonight, down low, but I mean, good, 16 points, he was okay. RJ Barrett, what are your thoughts about RJ, Chris? Because to me,
go ahead.
To me, it's just like if his shot has clearly been off for the past, I mean, all year. He's shooting 20% from 3, and that's his game. He's either shooting threes or he's either driving and hoping for a foul and hitting a layup or floater. He doesn't have a mid-range game right now, and I just think it could be a confidence issue with RJ Barrett too.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a confidence thing. I mean, he clearly wants to show and he wants to prove that he can hit the jumper and do so at a decent clip, but it hasn't been falling for him like that. He continues to do it because, like you said, that's basically his game right now. He's either a spot up shooter, or he's driving to the paint trying to get a foul, or if not, he's trying to finish through contact, which at times he's out of control. So leads to his efficiency suffering because of it. But I thought he had a solid game tonight. I mean, he hit a couple threes, which is exactly where I would like him to hit his threes or take his attempts from 3. Get it in the corners,
Yeah.
Easier shot rather than on the perimeter because, I think if he takes more corner threes, he'll get his confidence up. He could make those a lot more than he would any other.
Yeah. No, I agree. The New York Knicks are now on an 11-game winning streak versus the Detroit Pistons, by the way. They've won each game by an average of 16 points. So the Knicks own the Pistons. I mean,
82 games. We need it. 82-game season.
And they have a lot of former Knicks on their team. They have Burks, Knox, Noel, and now, I don't know if you saw the news, Kemba Walker's now with Dallas.
Oh my
The
God.
Dallas Knicks. Dallas has Walker. They have a lot of Knicks on their team. So the Detroit Pistons and the Dallas Mavericks are like the Knicks like dumping ground when it comes to players.
I'm sure Kemba has that game circled on his calendar.
Saturday, the Knicks played the Dallas Mavericks on, I believe, Saturday, and Kemba Walker now is a Dallas Maverick, and Chris,
Man,
Kemba Walker's
dropping
gonna
40.
go off.
Dropping 40.
He's dropping like 45 points against the Knicks, man. It's just the Knicks' luck, so it's gonna happen. So be prepared for it. Kemba Walker's gonna drop 45 and then be non-existent throughout the whole year.
45, and then he's gonna retire.
He's gonna be like, "Look, you guys, this is what you guys waived me. All right, you traded me to Detroit. You sent me to the dump." But yeah, so yeah, Knicks have a back-to-back. They have Milwaukee tomorrow, Chris, and Bucks are one of the top teams in the East, and it's gonna be a tough game. They have Milwaukee on Wednesday tomorrow, and then they have the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday, and then they're home to Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell 50 points in Madison Square Garden. Not you've heard of it first. And then they have Atlanta. They get a little bit of revenge against Atlanta after they blew that big league against the Atlanta Hawks. So
Yeah,
look,
that's a pretty tough stretch.
it is a tough stretch, but shock us tomorrow and beat the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean,
We need All-Star Julius tomorrow.
yeah, the starters didn't play most of the majority. Well, I think all of the fourth quarter, so they should be rested. I mean, granted, back to backs are tough, and the Bucks are 14-5 on the season. They, I believe, are on top of the Eastern Conference. No, the Boston Celtics are on top of the Eastern Conference. Boston, they got a squad out there in Boston, but yeah, it's gonna be a tough game, man. And you
For
weren't here
sure.
for the previous games that the Knicks lost at home. That's a problem for the Knicks, Chris. Is winning at home. It's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that earlier on in the season. We said, you gotta win your games at home. Um, I mean, that's just it. If you're hoping to get a play in or playoff seed, you gotta win those games at home because that's crucial.
Yeah, man, home cooking. And the Knicks over the years, it seems like at Madison Square Garden, it seems like the opponent team loves to play in Madison Square Garden, so they take advantage of it, and it brings out the best in the players, and it's the brightest stage in the NBA, so it's gonna bring out the best in your opponent. That's the only downside of playing in MSG. But
Yep,
look,
it's the bright lights.
to the bright lights, no excuses, man. But you gotta go tomorrow, give us a good performance, don't lay an egg, and hopefully come out with a victory because it doesn't get easier. You're still under 500. You're last in the division. You're behind the Nets, who have been reeling. So they needed a win like this, and it's good that Detroit was on the schedule. It's like a get right game, right?
Yeah, and hopefully the 3-point shooting comes around. I mean, I think before this game, Knicks were ranked around what 14th offense, which
Mm-hmm.
is not bad if you think about it, because their
No,
3-point shooting has been non-existent. Imagine
I,
if we had just decent 3-point shooting. This is could be a pretty good offensive team. Even better. But
yeah,
um, let's just hope 3-point shooting carries over to the next game because we're definitely gonna need it.
yeah, we definitely are. Like I said, the Knicks are dead last in terms of 3-point shooting percentage. I'm just going through their stats right now. Rebounding, defensive rebounds per game, they're actually top 10. They're a pretty good defensive rebounding team. Shooting defense, opponent 3-point percentage. The New York Knicks are in the middle. They're 15th. Teams are only shooting 35% on the season against them. So, let me scoring. You just said scoring. Yeah, no, now they're 12th.
Oh
So
yeah, look at that.
they're
And that's
12th and
without
yeah.
3-point shooting. Imagine if we wake up from three.
Yeah,
That
imagine if you had Evan Fournier in that lineup. Nah, let me stop. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke.
I not for nothing. I started thinking about that recently. I was like, maybe we could put him back in, see what happens, you know. But it's funny you say that. That's the only player that did not play tonight.
He hasn't played in I don't know, like 7 straight games or 8 straight games. Evan
Yeah,
Fournier, Knicks blew out the Pistons and hasn't played in. He wasn't in the game, so the Knicks are. You can tell they're trying to trade. They're trying to trade him, and they don't want him to get hurt at all. So, M
yeah,
Rivera in the chat. First comment, appreciate you. Randall increasing his trade value. Yeah, man. Julius Randle. I hope the Phoenix Suns. I hope the Miami Heat. I hope the Charlotte Hornets were watching tonight. Julius Randle. This is the Julius Randle you can get. Look, he dropping
yeah.
36 points on his birthday. Look, this is All Star Randle. So if you're those teams out there looking for a power forward, a strong power forward that can will his team to a victory, please, I mean,
Yeah.
call Leon Rose.
Maybe the Lakers are interested. You know.
Hey, maybe the Lakers are interested. Maybe the Hornets. Suns, Heat. There were some rumors that the Heat may be interested in Randall. So yes, Em Rivera, I appreciate you that Julius Randle is increasing his trade value tonight. Definitely increase his trade value. Big task at hand. Appreciate you in the chat. Salute, guys. Easy work. Easy work. The Detroit Pistons are bad. So
Yeah.
they're bad, and the New York Knicks took advantage of a bad team. And Detroit's dealing with some injuries, and the Knicks are now 3-0 on the season against Detroit. But got to take care of business. I believe Mike Breen said the Knicks are 7-2 against teams under 500, and teams over 500 they have a losing record. So, what do you think that says? I mean, they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, but they're losing to the teams that are better than them. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Kind of like what the record says. You know, 10 and 11, just
yeah,
kind of right in the middle.
yeah, right dab in it, right smack dab in the middle. Let's go through the team stats tonight. Compare it. So, appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Really appreciate it. The team stats. Let's go to the team
Hit that
stats.
like button.
Hit that like button. There you go. Rebounds 51-30. Knicks out rebounded the Detroit Pistons tonight by 21 rebounds. I mean, damn. That's a lot. Assists. Knicks were passing the ball a lot, sharing the ball, getting everybody involved. Knicks only had 14 turnovers tonight. Fast break points. Knicks had 14 points in the paint. Knicks continue to dominate in the paint. They scored 68 points in the paint. Most of that had to do with Mitch, Julius, your guards getting in the paint. We all know Jalen Brunson gets in the paint at will. And largest lead, the Knicks led this game by 32 points and did not look back. All around great game, man. I mean, no complaints. One of those games where you can sit back, take the fourth quarter off, relax. We needed this, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially with a team coming up like the Bucks next. It's nice, you know. Jalen played 18 minutes. He should be well rested. The whole team should be pretty well rested, you know. And it's nice after the last couple of games, you know, heartbreaker at Memphis and all. It's nice to get on the winning side.
Yep. Big task at hand with the question. Question: do you guys think the Knicks will make a trade during the season? You can go, Chris. You think they'll make a trade?
I think they will. I mean, I think they have to at this point. You got Fournier out there. I'm sure they're working the phones off the hook trying to move him right now, or at
Yeah.
least see what they can get for him or what they have to attach to get rid of him. But Do I think it'll be something like a superstar? I'm not too sure, but maybe something that clears up some roster space so some of these young guys can get more minutes. That's what I'm thinking, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think the Knicks will make a trade, and I do think they're gonna make a trade sooner. They're not gonna wait until the trading deadline. I think they're calling teams about Fournier. Derrick Rose has been rumored quickly, but I think Rose and Fournier are the two guys that I think will not be on the New York Knicks past the trading deadline. And I just think that it's either they have one or two options. Either you believe in Emmanuel quickly or you package him for that. There's rumors that they want to trade him for a first round pick, which is absolutely stupid to me. You don't trade Emmanuel quickly for just a first round pick as a prize. You only trade Emmanuel quickly if you're packaging him for a star or if you're that's it. I mean that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
I mean,
I don't
quickly was a fine for us. I mean, I don't see why we have plenty of picks right now. I mean, we
yeah,
didn't get Donovan. All those picks are still there.
yeah,
So I mean, what is one more gonna do? We're just gonna lose talent and have a pick. That's gonna be who knows what. You know,
exactly.
that pick could be Kevin Knox, who we
Or
saw
quickly.
today.
They quickly was picked in the 20s. So
Yeah,
I mean, to me, you're trading quickly to package him for a star, or if you have intel that you're getting from around the league that another star is disgruntled, which I don't trust this front office with any intel whatsoever when it comes to a star. But I do think they're going to trade Rose and or Fournier maybe quickly, but they gotta. There's too many guys right now. Maybe even Reddish. There's too many guys that need to play, and you got to plant your flag in some of these guys. And there's too many guys that need to play, and too many guys that have deserved playing time, and they're not playing. So they and it stinks because none of them do anything great. They're all great. They're all good players,
yeah,
and if you put a bunch of good players on your team, you're going to be average. So I do think there has to be a trade coming. I don't think Leon Rose can sit on his hands this trade deadline like he did last. So hope that answers your question. I do think that's what's going to go down. Eventually, they're going to make a trade.
yep. I think so too, and that's a good question. I mean, I think that's what's really on a lot of Knicks fans' minds. It's not so much if they'll make a trade, but just when are they going to make a trade, and what can they get?
Yeah. And do not trade Emmanuel quickly for just a first round pick because
Please.
I mean that'll be absolutely dumb in my opinion. Um, but
I agree.
yeah, somebody just tweeted Scott Perry said sell high, meaning Julius Randle. Sell high, Scott Perry. But yeah, Julius Randle, great game. He's showing you he's still he's a good player. He has all star potential. Obviously, 2 years ago, all star. This was an amazing game, man. 36, 5, and 7. This was all star Julius Randle, like you said, man. I mean, birthday. I
Yeah,
guess birthday. I guess when it's your birthday, you can just do whatever you want on the court and hit all your shots, man. Shout out to Julius tonight, man. Really balled out.
yep. He was definitely motivated today. Wish it was his birthday every damn day. If this is what we'll get, but who knows? Who knows? They're probably working the phones right now. Yo, you want Randall? You saw this game tonight?
Yeah, I
Who
know.
knows?
I know. M
It
Rivera in the
might get out
chat.
at some point.
Appreciate you. How about moving Hardenstein? Making rooms for Sims. Uh, I don't know because you signed Jericho Sims this summer. Everyone was excited about him. I was excited about Sims, and I think right now he's just playing through an injury, and I think he's better than what he has shown us for the last few games. And he showed that in the beginning of the season. He was really a factor off the bench for the Knicks. And I just think right now he's going through a stretch where he's struggling. But you're right. Jericho Sims has been playing, let's be real, Chris. He has been playing better than Isaiah Hartenstein. And he deserves playing time. So you essentially have three guys that deserve playing time. So what do the Knicks do? I don't know. That's another situation you have to figure out. I mean, Jericho Sims has been improving, and it just kills a young player's confidence when they're showing improvement on the court, and then they just can't get in a rhythm because Tom Thibodeau is sitting them, or he's having these DMPs that just don't make sense. But in terms of moving Isaiah Hartenstein, I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, and for a bigger package, maybe the Knicks like what they see from Sims, and they package Hartenstein with somebody else, and maybe that frees up some time for Sims. But it's a good question, and Hartenstein has some value around the league, so I would think, right?
Yeah, I mean he's known as a stretched big type that can shoot the ball. We haven't seen it too much this year. His shots hasn't been falling, but again, he's dealing with injury, and I agree. Even if you look at the box score tonight, for instance, Sims only played 6 minutes to Hartenstein's 14.
Yeah,
And if you kind of look, he had just if
it was
not
in it
better.
was in garbage time though. But yeah,
I mean, come on, it still counts though.
yeah. No,
But
I
I mean,
agree.
you could. He was a +1 to Hartenstein. It was just as even,
Yeah,
but it just shows you there's something there. He definitely can play. He's proved it. I would love to see him get more minutes. And again, if Hartenstein's hurt, sit him.
yeah. It doesn't make sense to play through an injury, especially when you have Sims playing at a high
Yeah,
level. Look, that game versus Utah, Sims was amazing. The game versus Denver, Sims was great. He playing defense, dunking over everybody. Jericho Sims, they need to figure out something with Jericho Sims. But yeah,
yeah,
I agree with you. There will be a market for a versatile big at the deadline. That'll be a better way to get more assets. I agree. Hartenstein is versatile and he could shoot the three, granted at not a high percentage, but there will be teams calling the Knicks because they're gonna see that the Knicks have a playing issues. Hardenstein, Sims, Cam Reddish. I think Cam Reddish is gonna be a hot name at the deadline. Maybe quickly the Rose, which is why I think if I was to put a percentage on it, I would think 85 to 90% that the Knicks move somebody at the deadline because too many guys, man.
yep. They got to free up some playing time for these young guys.
Yeah.
And, the only reason I don't see them maybe moving Hartenstein is only because Sims is so controlled. He signed a very team friendly deal, and he's kind of under control for a while. So that's the only thing I could see as
Yeah.
being the case keeping IR.
Hardenstein. Yeah, his
Yeah,
his contract's not bad. I think he started a 2 year, $16 million deal.
yeah,
Look, if the Knicks decide to trade him, they could. I mean, he'll be valuable. There's like Em Rivera said in the chat, there will be a market for him, and those are decisions that Leon Rose and the front office have to make. Do they plant their flag and do they believe in Jericho Sims? Do they believe that this stretch wasn't just a mirage? We don't know, but Buzzer Beater man, appreciate you in the chat. It's Buzzer Beater. Appreciate you always supporting, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, Knicks have a log jam, front court, back court. We'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be really interesting, Chris.
yep.
And
Um,
go
I
ahead.
can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see. I want it to be trade deadline already. I just want to see what the Knicks are going to do.
Yeah,
Hopefully, not trade quickly though for our
no,
first pick.
no. And in terms of the backcourt, Deuce. I mean, do you want to see more of Deuce if you're the front office? The reason why I bring this up is because right now the Knicks possibly could have 3 first-round picks in next year's draft, Chris. They own Dallas's pick, which is top 10 protected. They own their own pick, and then I believe it's the Wizards pick, but 2 of those picks may not convey. I don't think the Wizards pick will. Maybe Dallas. Dallas is struggling now, but who knows? The Knicks could have 3 first-round picks in a draft where they're saying it's going to be one of the deepest drafts in a while. So at the deadline, Leon Rose and Scott Perry, they have to make a decision. Do we want to hit the reset button and trade everybody and get more picks in this upcoming draft and just build around Jalen Brunson, hey, I mean, what would you? What I mean, that's a tough question to ask, but knowing this roster, seeing our record,
Yeah.
what would you do?
I mean, the record right now is exactly what it's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be the middle of the pack where
Yeah,
you're not bad enough that you're going to get a good lottery pick, and you're not really good enough to actually make a deep run in the playoffs. I think with that said, considering they signed Jalen Brunson, I don't think you can completely do a reset, but you definitely have to find a way to trade either a Randall or even a Barrett. Um, just that amount of money
that's
just to
if
kind
you
of
want to
get.
reset. Yeah,
It's if you want a soft reset. Let's call it a
yeah,
soft reset.
yeah.
Because
I don't
I
think
don't see.
Barrett's going anywhere unless it's
Yeah,
for
I
a
mean,
package for a star.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think so either. But that'd be the only way I could see them freeing up enough money where they could bring, some pieces or a piece in that'll make a difference and kind
yeah,
of turn things around.
yeah. I mean, if you were to give me the keys to the Knicks, if you were to tell me to run the Knicks, I would say, hey, teams that are calling me, I have all these draft picks, and it's either one, I trade as much as possible for a star or superstar, whoever's available, and I pair him with Barrett, Brunson, and see what you got. But I think I'm leaning more towards the option of just hitting the reset and drafting in this loaded draft class because some of these players, Chris, in this upcoming draft class, you have Wembanyama, Henderson, like they're ready for this league now. So I mean, if the Knicks can get a hand on one of them, maybe even two of them,
Yeah,
I mean, that'll change the whole landscape of the future for the Knicks, which is why I think this upcoming trading deadline is it might be the biggest deadline that this front office is gonna face with. They're gonna have to ask all those questions, and good thing I'm not running it. Leon better not punt these picks down the road. We need to draft some young wings. Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yep. Last summer we punted a pick down the road. Two signed Brunson though, so I mean, you take what you can get. And I believe the center on Detroit, what's his name? The Knicks
Jay
traded him.
Stewart.
Yeah, Duran. He's a
I
bouncy
actually like
kid.
him. Plays well. I mean, I know he's raw, but
Yeah,
kind of wish we had that on our team a little bit too. But
yeah,
then
he's
again,
he's
we got
bouncy. He had some highlights in the summer league. He has some talent, but that's not what the Knicks. I mean, you already have a logjam in the
yeah,
front court. That's not what the Knicks needed. He wasn't going to play anyway. He was probably going to be buried on the bench, knowing Tom Thibodeau. But yeah, Rivera, I agree. Leon better not punt these picks down the road. And it seems like he punts he keeps kicking the can down the road, just waiting for the next strike, just waiting. He just keeps kicking the can down the road, and eventually these they have to translate into wins. We have to build a great culture here, and if not, if we have another losing season, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, let's be real. Leon was brought in here because he was going to bring us that star, that superstar, all star to the Knicks. It hasn't happened. Not
Yeah,
even, we got close with Donovan, but even that did not go down the way we'd hope. They got to be feeling the heat. They need to make a move. They need to make a splash in some sort of way. Maybe not just to do it for the sake of doing it, but something that takes our team to the next level. Because middle of the pack is not going to cut it.
nope, it's not gonna cut it at all. Buzzer beater with one of the layup questions you can ask. Has Brunson been worth the money? Come on, man.
Nah, man, he's overpaid.
Brunson has been worth every single penny. I mean, have you looked at his game log over his last few games? Over 30 points in three straight games tonight. I mean, he was a great game, even though he only scored efficient. Yeah, exactly. 16 points. But Brunson has been carrying the Knicks, even though it hasn't been translating into victories. Brunson has definitely been worth the money, and so I'm not worried about Jalen Brunson at all. If anything, Knicks need to get that man some help.
I mean, at this point, you'd probably could say that we got this guy at a bargain. I mean,
Exactly.
he's out playing that contract already. I mean, considering it's early, yes, I get it, but the
Yeah.
Knicks would not be 500 basically or close to 500 without Jalen Brunson on this team. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Whew. You're right about that. Evan Fournier hasn't played in a game in over 2 weeks. He's made $1.7 million. I mean, hey,
I could use some of that.
shout out to Evan Fournier.
Keep cashing them checks.
Keep cashing them checks, Evan. Keep going to the bank. Keep clearing them checks. I was against the Spider trade. We would be giving up too many assets. Reminds me of the Melo trade. Reminds me of what you were telling me, Chris.
Yeah,
During the
I was on that boat too. I was scared. Granted, in hindsight, everything changes, but
yeah.
yeah, I agree. Buzzer beater. I mean, I was on that boat too. I didn't want to give up too much. When I started hearing, Barrett, Grimes, 3, 4 picks, I definitely got squeamish on that. If it was up to me, I'd give up all the picks if I could have just got Donovan that way. But
I don't.
um,
I think it was me. I would have gave up the players rather than the picks because I don't know. But we didn't get them, so I mean,
yeah,
we still have the picks. We had a boatload of picks, and the Knicks want more picks. So yeah, I told people that 25 million was the going rate for a good starting point guard. Yeah, when Brunson was signed here, that contract to me was a bargain, and he's proved early on he's been hurt. He's played through injury. He's been carrying the Knicks. He's had like maybe 1 or 2 off games, but look, when you have a point guard dropping, he's the best point guard in New York since
yeah,
Marbury. Like it's been that long. So Jalen Brunson has been nothing more than advertised. So yeah,
yeah. Not only that, he's always available. He's always out there.
yeah,
He's a tough dude. He gets he gets beat up throughout every single game, but this guy is just always there. Hardly ever gets hurt. So I think money well spent, and you know, let's hope he continues the play and he stays healthy. But definitely a bargain. I think he's not overpaid at all. I
no.
think it's safe to say that that take can be put to rest.
That take can be put to rest, and this post game can be put to rest. Appreciate you guys in the chat for always contributing. We'll be back tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks. The New York Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons by a final score of 140-110. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And yeah, man, let's go Knicks. Good to see them back on the winning track. And have a good night. And peace.
Peace.